Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. I've got a lot of interesting news today. We are going to cover this first one, which is about what Mr. Kitao of SBI is up to. There's some big news today, but I want to give you a little bit of background because I think it's important so you can really understand the scope of this move that was announced. So I'm going to take you back to 2017 when Mr. Kitao, the CEO of SBI, made some very strong statements about the possibility of a risk for a 51% attack from the miners who are in China, basically controlling the majority of the Bitcoin network. And he has made numerous statements how he really wants to create a healthy ecosystem because he feels that in order for the institutional investors to really make a long-term investment, they expect to have a stable marketplace and has, less risk and less volatility. So he went on to announce back in that time frame of 2017, he was going to acquire a stake or share in a mining company. And he did this in order to stabilize the market. And I thought that is great because we are all attached to the hip with Bitcoin now, whether or not you're a small cap altcoin or a large cap altcoin. If Bitcoin doesn't do well, nobody is going to do well for a very long time, and we don't want any disasters. So I think it's very actually a wonderful thing that we've got Mr. Kitao trying to stabilize and bring some healthy balance into this ecosystem. So what he did then is this company here, and I had to go back into the Wayback Machine to find the website because yes, it is no longer live. It has since gone dark. It was October 2017 that he led a series round of funding for this company called Because. Because is without the E, so bcause.com. And he took a 40% stake. And also there's a company called Checkmate Capital, that they brought an additional $5 million in April 2018. So this was a full stack crypto ecosystem. They had a facility that was huge, like 84,000 square feet, and they only had 3 customers. They had SBI as a customer. They had BMG, which is a division of the N-Chain Group. Yeah, that is Dr. Craig Wright. And also Saint Bits, which is Roger Ver's company. So this is way before Roger and Craig Wright started slinging mud, and they had the huge division in the hard fork and created a big problem in the cryptocurrency space for some months, actually. This, though, was a time where the 3 of them were actually working together. But on April 11th, 2019, the company filed Chapter 11, and that is a form of bankruptcy that allows you to reorganize your debts. And they were really in a lot of debt, actually. Mr. Kitao decided he was not going to renew his agreement. And of course, then after the fork, there was really no lost love between Craig Wright and Roger Ver, and I'm sure that they also didn't continue their agreement because they both went their own ways. SBI used to mine BCH, if everybody remembers that, but he did take BCH off of the SBI VC trade site after that fork. He was very, very clear. He was angry, actually. He felt that the 2 of them had just a little bit too much ego going on, and that whole division was very upsetting to him, and he made that quite clear publicly. All right, so before the contract was up in November 2019 with SBI sold this company a bunch of defunct miners, and the mining machines were refurbished and they tried to get up and running again because they knew that they were losing all their customers. So they were going to try to go on their own as a new entity. But on the 8th of October, Judge Janet Baer ordered the company into Chapter 7. So that is the end of that story, but it's not the end of what Mr. Kitao was setting out to do. You can see here in his May presentation in front of the shareholders, he still was very set on the SBI group gaining that 30% of the hash rate to develop a sound and solid crypto asset market. So even though he made I think a bad investment in because he didn't lose his focus, and today's news just goes to prove that. So we've got the news about SBI and GMO. GMO is an exchange here in Japan. They're a big entity. They're a powerful financial player in this crypto space, and the two of them together have signed an agreement with Northern Bitcoin, which they have operations in the Netherlands and Sweden, and of course the US is now where it's going to be the world's largest mining facility down in Rockdale, Texas. They're going to have, 300 megawatts to start, and they'll reach 1 gigawatt by the end of the year. It'll be 3 times the capacity of China's Bitmain technology, which is currently the largest miner for Bitcoin. And so when you compare what he was going to do with that 84,000 foot full stack mining facility with because they had 14,000 miners. So I don't know exactly how many miners are going to be in this world's largest one, but it's probably going to be even larger than that. So I think it's very, very good news that we have this coming to the rescue, if you will. Yeah, it's interesting, Well, it's not the only time that Mr. Kitao has come to the rescue. If you want to see what he did for the Fuji television network company when LiveDoor tried to take it over, which is an internet company here, that's an interesting story. I don't have time to tell it to you now, but he does put his money where his mouth is when it comes to having an impact in a positive way. And I think we all really need to be thankful for Mr. Kitao and his aggressiveness to control this hash rate, because it does depend on the future of everybody who is in this space. Yeah, so I think this is just really, really great news. Okay, let's move on to the next story, which is something that, I just wanted to point out. I made the Japan online media coin post, and it talks about the interview I had yesterday with the co-founder of FlashFX. It's really, really good if you didn't see it. His sound is a little soft, but I think the questions I asked were great because he was a real sport. Many of them he couldn't answer, but he did give us a lot of information as to how XRP, the digital asset, integrates into the NPP platform in Australia, and how somebody who really uses the on-demand liquidity feels about using the digital asset. So I just wanted to tell you, if you didn't see that video and you want to know a little bit more about the space when it comes from a real user of ODL, that is a good video from yesterday. All right, this is the one I just can't wait to tell you about, and that is because when I saw yesterday's news, I thought, oh boy, here we go again with these companies that are giving us the news. They're not doing any research. This is Bitbox, and Bitbox opened the summer of 2018. They have 30 different cryptocurrencies. They also have their own native token, Link, and they tried to really launch something big. They did it in 15 languages, but you know what? I have to tell you that this exchange which is not available in the US and is not available in Japan, it is not a major blow in Japan because you can't even trade on it in Japan. In fact, if I go to the website, this is what I get. Bitbox is unavailable in your country. Yes, so no, it's not a big blow at all. The two biggest countries that trade XRP is the United States and Japan. And this exchange is struggling. I mean, we're talking seriously struggling. It does less than 10 million in trading a day. And they are withdrawing from XRP because they just don't have any liquidity. I did do a little bit of research, and there is somebody out there by the name of Kenji Ito. He has a website called Coin Otaku here in Japan, and he really scoured the news for who knows what. And it showed that the volume of their BTC XRP pair, which was delisted, the 24-hour volume was like $661. So of course they didn't have enough liquidity because this site doesn't do any volume. As a matter of fact, it only does about $1 million a day in volume, just a little over $1 million. So I'm sorry to say, but it's just not a blow at all. And you can see here, it's based in Singapore. Now, I want to tell you, the reason why they connect it to Japan is because it's run by a subsidiary of a Korean company. So the subsidiary is based here in Japan, which is called Line, but it's owned by a parent company, which is in Korea. It's a Korean company. So we've got a Korean company that has a subsidiary that runs an exchange in Singapore that you can't even trade on in Japan. Sorry, everybody, but this major blow is far from what those clickbait headlines tell you. So if you want to see some interesting volume, Binance came out with their December report, and it's quite interesting. They take the top 10 assets by market cap, and Bitcoin had the largest daily volume on Binance in December. That was on average, I think it was 275 million. And Ethereum had a daily volume of about 48 million. XRP had a daily volume of 20 million. So you can see here, just do a little comparison. That Bitbox site doesn't even barely do over $1 million in trading total a day. Yeah. So I just, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I just can't stand the poor reporting in this space. And here's something, though, that's interesting with Ethereum and XRP. So for OTC, the large cap altcoins were in demand big time on Binance through their OTC desk, and they saw higher than usual flows. That's a good thing, and that's interesting to know. Okay, everybody, we are jumping to the fluff. The fluff today is all about telling you thank you for my channel that I've had over the past couple of years. And I hit a milestone of 25,000 subscribers, and I feel really happy about that. If you are one of those people who subscribe, you are in that age group. On average, 32% of you are age 35 to 44. And mobile phones are of the highest device or the most popular device in terms of how people view the channel, followed by the computer. And people still are using the TV and game console. That's really, really, really funny that game consoles are still being used. So I'm going to give you some stats. You might want to just kind of keep some of them handy because I'm going to give away some Kit Kats for this celebration. So the mobile phone being the #1 device, it's more than double of that that is followed by the computer. And when we talk about watch times. YouTube has, on average, people watch anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. And my average watch times are very high when it comes to the averages on YouTube itself. So for the mobile phone, the average watch time is 6 minutes and 57 seconds. For a computer, it's 7 minutes, 56 seconds. And if you're on the TV, you're watching on average 10 minutes and 44 seconds. Female viewers, this is really great. When I first started the channel, it was like maybe it wasn't even 2.3%. Maybe it was 2.3%. Yeah, I think it was just barely over 2%. I'm now up to 6.9% of the viewers are by the registration of what YouTube knows about you are female, and I feel really great about that. I can't wait to see this number keep growing. I've had over 3 million views on the channel. There's over 50 countries that regularly watch. The number one country is the United States, followed by the UK, Australia, Canada, and the Netherlands. But, you know, big countries are also Germany, South Africa, Belgium, France. Japan is the 13th in terms of countries that watch. It's number 13. But I've got countries that just amaze me, like Kuwait and Turkey, Romania, Israel, Greece, even Nigeria. It's amazing how global this crypto space is. So I am just really pleased. I'm very happy. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. And this is, by the way, the one video that I did from Okinawa is the most popular video I ever did. That was about 10 months ago, and it still ranks as the number one video. And it was when I was down there by myself. I wasn't planning on doing any videos, but it was the day that Coinbase listed XRP. So I just shot from my iPhone, and it still to this day is the number one video. It's kind of fun. All right, I have 5 Kit Kats to give away. I have a party ice cream flavor. I have custard. I have a matcha green tea. I have orange, and I have a brown tea flavor. If you can, in the comment section, give me just 3, if you can recall 3 of those stats that I gave you on this channel, the first 3 people to list 3 correct stats about the channel will win a bag of Kit Kats, and I will send them to you free of charge. Of course, they are brand new and sealed. They're all very rare in terms of flavors. I don't think you can get any of them except matcha. I think you can get now out of Japan, but this matcha is one that's done in the new paper packaging that you can follow the instructions on the back and actually create an origami crane. So it's very smart packaging. You don't just throw away a plastic packaging, and you can actually get a second life out of this paper packaging. It's more eco-friendly. I think it's a good thing. So anyway, that is what you'll do. The first 5 people, then I'll contact you through the comments. Please then go to Twitter and give me a direct mail. So it's just 2 of us, private direct mail, and give me the address that you want the bag of Kit Kats shipped to. And of course, Twitter address is at Sentosumo Saba. I think you won't have a problem. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the description below, so you won't have trouble if you're one of those first 5 to leave me those statistics about the channel here. Thank you very much. I really, really, really have had a great time over the course of a couple of years doing this channel, and I hope to make another big milestone in subscribers soon. Okay, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.